saying, I'm Tom Anderson and I am failing at famous. And with me today is Nick Metropolis, the king of collectible furniture. And we're here at his place, and it's just an incredible, incredible place. Nick, yep, they're on, Nick. We're rolling.
Okay, great.
What is this? What is going on?
Eyelash gel, but you know what? It has a practical use because my eyelashes, I grew up in upstate New York where it's cold.
Okay.
My eyelashes used to freeze together when I'd ice skate. So I used to carry a gel to separate them because if I blinked, they'd froze shut. So I've carried eyelash gel all my life, actually.
It's kind of like Carmex. Once you start doing it, you can't stop. I see.
Yes.
We don't have freezing problems here in LA, thankfully.
Well, you know, you introduced me as the king of collectible furniture. I got to tell you a major compliment because I know your first interview was Larry King. And interesting enough, on my card, I'm the king of collectible furniture, right?
Well, and all of LA you are.
Well, thank you very much. So will you kindly call me Your Highness instead of Nick?
I was going to go with Your Majesty. Would you prefer?
But you know what? It's all about having fun. That's what our store is about. And that's why when I first saw your mobile unit, I thought, this is a canvas for having outrageous fun forever. Just forever, because that's what I get when I look at what you're doing. And also, your idea to do it. I mean, it's just, I almost want to be interviewing you to hear how you got into this, and I'm sure.
Well, we can do that.
Well, I know one that you used to be in the banking business, right?
Well, yeah,
with it.
in finance, yeah, and investments mainly.
He was an investing banker, and now his passion for. Has this always been in your heart?
Well,
I am interviewing him.
no, that's okay. That's all right. The it's funny. Well, I guess to some extent, yes. I mean, I think everybody wants to have their own talk show or be on television or something.
Yes.
And so I think in the back of my mind, it always was a passion, but it was never a realistic thing.
Yeah.
And so it was more realistic for me to start businesses, and so I went with the more of the, well, that's attainable in my life.
Right.
And then I found myself unemployed, and which, then it's just a blank canvas. So.
Right.
After talking with some people, and there is kind of a commonality throughout my life. People have always said I should be a comedian or be on television or something, but again, it just was never anything that was attainable. It just didn't seem realistic.
Yeah.
And so, but finding myself with a whole lot of time on my hands, why not just have my own talk show?
That's right. I love
so,
it. Well, when I watched the Larry King interview and he talked about the chutzpah and your boldness, but it had such a humbleness because when you told me it took all your courage to walk up to him and say, "Could you be my first?"
Oh yeah.
That's what it's all about. And if we take it back to my story, that same thing. You take a positive chance. You say a prayer. You take a positive chance, and if you're doing a good thing, you will get blessed and become very successful. And I see this becoming huge, really, really huge.
Well, I hope so.
If you begin interviewing people that have a heart, people that have a cause or something that they want to say, or for example, God bless Paul Newman, who isn't here to do an interview with you, but after taxes, all the Paul Newman products are given to children's charities, $280 million.
Yes.
So this is a golden opportunity to talk and have it out to the viewing world of people that are doing some good things. An interesting version of Larry King, an extension of it.
Oh, well, that's a crazy compliment that I can't even imagine doing that.
Yeah, but look at this, the synchronicity. He was your first interview.
Oh, yes, with him, yes.
It's major.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And it'll only grow from there.
That,
And he told you that.
yes.
He said he saw great things for you, right?
Which is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so flattering. I just can't even get my mind around it. And but yeah, this is fun, and like you said, I think it has unlimited potential of like where I can go and what we can do, and the stories that we'll hear.
Well, I'd like you here at the store a lot. You have a carte blanche parking space. I know because parking could be an issue. Carte blanche parking space in our driveway, and come whenever you like, because we have such amazing people that come. In fact, mainly because this is the first interview. I rang Dwight Yoakam. I rang a couple people that, again, great hearts, successful people, And they could be some of your future interviews right here on this parking lot.
Oh, well, I appreciate that invitation, and I'll definitely take you up on that, Nick, for sure.
Yes, I'm going to make a list. I knew the interview was coming up, and I got really busy.
Right.
So I didn't call our client list. And there's some pretty great people. Drew Barrymore shops here. I think if we could catch her with her world tours, Miley Cyrus would probably sit.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
These are people that shopped here and showed their great heart. Miley gave a great tip to one of our homeless helpers when she bought a Hollywood sign. So when we see that generosity, they go on a list of people that are cool and generous and have a great heart. So they should be some of your future.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, for sure.
And that paying it forward. You're paying it forward.
Exactly. And I think that's really what this whole thing is about. Because when you see this thing, it's so ridiculously hilarious. And I want people to, we can't take ourselves too seriously. And but yeah, I mean, people like that are just amazing just to talk to and learn from, and that's exactly what I'd like to do for sure.
And if you follow that energy, Tom, because here's what I've learned from experience. I've mentioned you privately that we're soon going to be a show here.
Right, yeah.
And we have turned away reality producers that kind of wanted to come in and make you what you're not.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if someone starts to say, oh, Tom, we want you to dress this way, or maybe even have you not do it, have someone else. This is your thing. It has to be. It has to be from the beginning that you take it to the level that you want to take it, and it will be very high level. So in our experience here, we've turned away reality producers that wanted me fighting with my wife, having things with my kids. No, you have to. If you continue being yourself in your interview show, and we continue saying no to the guys that want to change us,
sure,
we will both have great success.
Oh man, I appreciate that, and I get so disappointed when I watch television and those quote unquote reality shows, and it's all just contrived chaos. And then unfortunately a lot of that stuff ends up spinning off into real life, and then those people have a wedge between them that never existed before.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I don't, it befuddles me that America is so attracted to that whole anger and fighting and stuff like that. But
and not enough publicity is given to the other part of America that won't even turn on and watch those shows, and they're the ones that would be prime waiting for something that's beyond creative, but that's got a message and it's cool and hilarious. I mean, those shows are pretty hilarious, but why not have it be another kind of hilarious? For example, our show, The Front Door, gets all of the celebrities and the studios, and we see the highest part of Hollywood. The back door, because we're on an alley, I'm seeing the Vietnam vet pushing a shopping cart and trying to sell me a microwave oven just to get some food. So this particular corner sees both sides.
Right.
So that's what I tell these producers. There's enough real drama here. That guy that needs a cup of coffee or a sandwich and is finding something in the trash to sell me, that's drama, and that's an interesting kind of drama that shines light. We give him a few bucks, he's happy, and then we come back in and here's Miley Cyrus waiting to buy a Hollywood sign.
Right.
And that's the extreme of
the dichotomy of those two worlds of absolutely. And just to mention, if the key here is you do deal with both sides, and you do give that guy some money for that broken microwave, and you have such an incredible heart. And Nick, you have one thing that really attracted to me, and we've known each other. I showed you the trailer as it was in progression. But just your heart, that you are building a community here, and you are kind of on that knife's edge of both sides, and that's so important, and I wish more people would do that.
Well, Tom, I always say it's not me. Yes, it's Nick Metropolis, it's my name, but 21 years ago, in 4 days actually, we'll be on this corner 21 years, I lease a corner to sell furniture, and I have no idea what's going to start being created around me. I was just kind of like the catalyst or the channel. I rent a lot to sell furniture, and all of a sudden I'm seeing everything that we're talking about now.
Sure.
So I feel very blessed that I took that positive risk to rent this corner. Zero money. At that time, the rent was $5,500 a month. I had zero money.
Oh my God.
But it took them 6 months to earthquake-proof the property, which gave me 6 months to sell furniture on street corners.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean earthquake the property? It's a giant.
Well, this building had to be earthquake-proof.
Oh.
So there's like these beams that go through
Okay.
which was a blessing because it took 6 months to do it.
Right.
And I borrowed from every possible person to be able to pay that first and last month's rent. And then the rest became history. We're still hand to mouth. In fact, Jason Alexander was thinking of naming the show. In fact, I'd like him to come. He's a neighbor down the street.
Oh, yes.
Very good-hearted man. He wanted to name the show Saving Metropolis because every month we're trying to get that rent money, which is now,
Absolutely.
but we'll always experience a miracle. And that's part of having the faith of it's going to be all right. And sometimes it's the 59th minute of the 11th hour, which you're going to experience, trying to launch this, and then a miracle happens.
Right.
If you're doing the right thing, you will always get blessed. In fact, when Miley came in, we were down 16,400 with the Board of Equalization. And you don't want to mess around with them.
Oh,
because
no.
it's their money. You collect it, you're obligated to give it.
Right.
And I'm kind of inside freaking out a little bit. And my lovely wife is saying, don't worry, we've been there before, it's going to be okay. And 4 days later, Miley comes in with her mom and a decorator, and in 45 minutes spends $16,000. But see, that's that, holding on, it's going to be okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's incredible. Well, you've had a number of stories like that.
Yes, a lot of
that just almost to the penny. It just works out.
Exactly.
Miracle on First Street.
Yeah. Well, yes. Wow. In parentheses, saving Metropolis, miracle on First Street. I love it.
There you go.
And you see, we're allowed to have a good time now. It is all about having fun. See, that's kind of my mission, is for the viewing public to see what happens on this corner.
Absolutely.
In the alley to help them, but in the front line, when they see the generosity of the Paul Newmans, and again, Miley Cyrus, and anyone who's been, Glee rented our dinosaurs for a show. And as I was talking to the art director, I said, we're getting close to being a show ourselves. He goes, oh, Nick, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, it's going to show that we house homeless. We have 2 animal rescue. We probably rescued 1,000 dogs and hundreds of cats over the years. He goes, Nick, I didn't know you do that. He goes, how much is my bill? I said, $900. He goes, send me an invoice for $1,500.
Oh my gosh.
When does that happen? When in my 21 years has someone said add money to the bill? But see, that shining light on, for example, a successful show.
Right.
That is paying it forward. And
absolutely.
That's the kind. That's
and more than 50% added on.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So
wow.
that's just pretty amazing.
Well, it is very cool that you can foster that type of not only customers, but just the whole community aspect of that is incredible.
Well, again, it comes to me. It's not like I said, hey, here I am. I leased this corner. When my children were young and Rita wasn't.
Well, you exude that energy too.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you absolutely do. It's not a happy accident. I mean, it is a happy accident too. But I mean, I think you foster that, and I think people respond to that in kind.
Thank you. Well, a colorful life experience. I grew up in my hippie days. I was out here in 1965 when the Doors were playing the Whiskey, so I got a glimpse of life. Thank God I didn't fight that war. I was Vietnam War age.
Sure.
19 years old, and influenced a lot by the Beatles. George Harrison, my biggest influence because of his spirituality. So, beginning meditating back in those days, and that's kind of what brings out some of that energy that I have now. It's early on, putting away the pot and the things I did in the 60s, and kind of like cleaning up my act in a different way. And then of all Beatles to me, God bless them. In 1978, I was having a beer at a bar in Westwood, and I sit next to George Harrison.
Oh, wow.
And we had like about a half-hour conversation. It was like so great. In fact, it was comical because he was kind of talking me into vegetarianism. I would dabble back and forth with meat and vegetables, but he was chain-smoking camels. So I said, okay, George, if you quit the camels, I'll quit meat. We had a laugh over it. But
tobacco's a vegetable. Or maybe not.
Those were my times. And then what I learned from those times would be, my card reads "Love is all there is," and that's a Beatle lyric, and it's that. I was blessed that I, experienced those years in the '60s where it was pretty much, anti-Vietnam War.
Sure.
I have great respect for soldiers, even police. When cops come to the store, I say, I didn't like you when you stopped me with my long hair, 50 years ago. But I have great respect for law enforcement and certainly our military.
Absolutely.
Because I see the real part of it. Now, that Vietnam War, I did not see the real part. It was a war over oil, and thank God I didn't go. I would have been frontline infantry as a kid.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Be here. So they didn't take me. Something about me, they gave me a mental deferment. I don't know why I and I did.
Well, maybe we'll touch back on that.
I'll tell you that story sometime in the future. It was all innocent. It was a real innocent thing. They threw me out of the LA draft board. I was afraid to take the blood test. I was always afraid of needles. So it came time for the blood
Well, you're
test.
really not going to like the jungle.
Oh no. So this is just the beginning of a great relationship.
Absolutely.
I'll help you as much as I can.
I
and
appreciate it,
This
Nick.
is carte blanche. This corner, anytime you want, or this driveway.
I appreciate
come
that.
and park your vehicle.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick,
Really
pleasure.
pleasure. Mine too.
Absolutely. Nick Metropolis, everybody. Definitely not failing to be famous.
Ah.